I believe, and I could be wrong, and I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But this is the first Asylum film we're covering on this podcast.
It is.
Which is interesting.
I mean, we've watched tons while doing this.
Because we've watched probably 150 Asylum films.
Well, we watched, I think, almost, between us at least, we have to have seen almost all of them. I think there's like 300.
Something like that.
And, yeah.
And another one every like 3 weeks. So.
Yeah. But yeah, this is our first one we've covered.
Yeah. It's kind of exciting.
It is.
And
it's, we've talked about other ones.
It's time for us to talk about Asylum.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was fun. I'll admit it.
It was fun. It took me like 2 years, I think, to convince you to watch this movie.
Very nearly.
Yeah.
Very nearly. Not because it was an Asylum film. Because like we just got done saying, Lord knows, we've seen tons of them.
Right.
And yes, we've seen all the Sharknadoes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Some more than once. So yeah, with that being said, I think we need to preface this whole thing with, we shred the shit out of this.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's shredding with love. It is what it is. And anyone who's watched not just Asylum, but any of these, like Gravitas, who is now like a Redwood Lumber Company or so, whatever that fucking banner is on the bottom.
I have no idea.
I can't remember, but it just like popped up recently.
Uncorked.
Yep, Uncorked, Half Moon, all that stuff. You know what you're getting into.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And our listeners, I know they're watching this stuff because, I mean, these are B movies.
And you don't listen to a B movie podcast unless you like watching B movies. So.
Right. But these are pure B movies.
Oh, absolutely.
I think some might have been indie films that were taken up by these guys, maybe after the fact, but I don't think that happens often.
I don't know.
I mean, a lot of, like, Asylum makes it all in-house.
Yeah.
You're not going to walk up to them with a DVD and go, hey, have a look.
No.
You're like, no, thank you.
In any case, they're one of the most prolific independent film production companies that there is.
Yes. And successful. I mean, you can't say that, they don't own 70 square blocks of Hollywood. They don't have like a Ron Howard tower of greatness, but success comes from the fact we talk about this. They've been around for a super long time, ridiculously long time, and started out with very questionable material. But it's worked because people like us will watch this stuff because it's fun. Sometimes it's fun to pick at. Sometimes it's just fun, like the Sherlock Holmes and the T-Rex and a Kraken. How can you fucking not watch that?
And a robot dragon.
Oh, and a robot dragon.
Yeah.
Right? See, the trifecta.
All the best things about Sherlock Holmes.
So just bear that in mind, because we do pick on a few little points.
Yeah, but we love Asylum. Anytime we watch a movie and that logo comes up, we're both like, oh yeah.
Yo, it's Asylum.
We know exactly what we're getting into.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we bring everyone into this bad boy?
Well, I would just love to.
All right. So here we go, B-siders. We're in it.
Let's go.
Hey, B-siders. Welcome to another episode of Bravo for the B-side. This is Jim.
This is Danny. And
we have a fun-ish one.
Oh, come on. It's fun.
It was all right.
Don't hate.
It was all right.
There's nothing else like it.
That is true. There's a number of factors that kind of isolate this into its own thing.
Even though it's kind of a ripoff of a pretty well-known movie.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a formula to that.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll get to that. All right. I'm trying to think. Is there anything we need to talk about? I don't think so.
No.
Since last time. Just another week. That's about it.
Another week in this year.
Yeah. Nothing forward moving yet. We still have the same amount of scenes to shoot.
Yeah.
Of course, by the time this comes out, we'll have shot some.
Yes.
Yeah. Probably this coming weekend after our interview.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler.
We have an interview coming up, you guys.
Yeah. Which will follow this one.
Yeah.
When this comes out in a couple weeks. All right.
Tickle in my throat. Okay.
So, why don't you tell us what we're getting into so we can talk about this and some things about it?
Well, Jim, I would love to.
Well, thank you, Danny.
This movie is called Dead 7. It was made in 2016, directed by Danny Rowe. I don't know. It's a... anyway. Written by Nick Carter of the Backstreet Boys.
Yep.
And Sawyer Perry. Starring, and if you were a 90s fangirl for boy bands, you'll recognize a lot of these names. Nick Carter, Carrie Keegan, Joey Fatone, Jeff Timmons, AJ McLean, Eric Michael Estrada, and even more boy band members. There are so many. They're all represented here.
If you say so.
Yeah. We've got Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, 98 Degrees, O-Town. It's wild. Anywho, it was rated TV 14, although I mildly disagree with that rating.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was up to them.
Right.
You know.
The budget, weren't able to find it. It wasn't huge.
No.
And I think part of the reason we weren't able to find it is because Asylum Film, the production company behind this movie, doesn't publish a lot of their budget numbers.
No. Which, you know, I mean, that's fine because we talked about that.
Yeah.
Companies aren't, you know, obligated to just post it everywhere. But we've looked at a lot of Asylum stuff just out of curiosity.
Yes.
Right?
Because we keep watching their movies and we keep wondering how does this company work? How do they make money?
Well, yeah, and that's some stuff we're going to talk about after we get through this. I'm going to reach out, see if we can't get the CEO of Asylum to talk to us. He's a follower.
I mean, that would be cool.
You know. So yeah, I would like to ask some of those questions. I'm curious.
There's so many questions.
Well, it's the king of B-movie productions these days.
Yes.
I mean, Sharknado was like no other Asylum film has franchised like that. You know,
it's true.
And it was like a right time, right place.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And just
took off.
Yeah, because I want to ask him when we're going to get to the 10-headed shark.
We watched 2-headed, 3-headed, 5-headed, 6-headed.
We've watched all the headeds. Yeah.
All the many-headed shark movies.
Next up will be 7.
Yeah.
If they get to it. I want 7, 8, 9, 10. I want something to look like a big floofy ball of just shark heads.
Just like a Katamari ball of shark heads.
Yeah, it just like doesn't even swim. It just like rolls.
Yeah.
Oh, they can bring it on land.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Okay. 10-headed shark meets Sharknado.
Anyway, let's get back to our featured topic here.
So, because I could just talk all night about Asylum.
No.
The log line for this movie is a post-apocalyptic Western that follows a group of gunslingers as they look to rid a small town of a zombie plague.
That seems about right.
So, kids, this is a zombie western done in the style, and it's right in the title, Dead Seven, done in the, as a kind of sort of ripoff of Magnificent Seven.
Right.
Starring just a bunch of former boy band stars.
Yeah. And some of us were able to make it through the boy band period.
It is wild.
Without ever fucking knowing anything about any of them.
I know so much about them.
I know you do. I managed to be able to flip that shit off the radio. Well, thankfully, none of the stations I listened to most of the time played the stuff, and the occasional, scan ramble through. They go, nope. I could just tell by listening to it. Nope. And I will admit, though, I saw one video because, well, here's the thing. I was in a barber chair. And it was what was playing on the corner TV. And, I hate looking ahead in the mirror at myself. And I hate gawking at the hair cutters through the mirror.
Really? I stare at myself intently.
Oh, see, both of those things seems just super creepy to me. And I don't want to offset the hair cutter because I've had hair cutting fuck ups and they're just horrible, and it's just more shit I don't want to have to deal with. Let's simplify the situation. Let's just sit the fuck still, not engage in a lot of conversation, let them get to their stuff and keep my eyes, where I'm very obviously not gawking at them. And I had that TV screen in the corner through the mirror. And I thought, what in the ever loving fuck am I watching? They had MTV on.
Yeah.
There's no running from that. Thankfully, though, it wasn't boy band hour.
Well, I'm just going to give you a tip here.
Sure.
Perhaps if you had been watching your haircut ongoing, rather than trying to not be awkward, you would have caught those fuck ups. No,
those fuck ups came when I tried to do the stuff like engage in conversation and, staring at them like in exactly 7 hours and 7 minutes, your fucking life's coming to an end.
I mean, there are ways to do it without being creepy.
No, because this wasn't a regular barber shop. So I guess I was in a stylist's chair because, my quest for barbershops has been Don Quixote has nothing on me.
Well, I feel like we've gotten a little off topic.
We have, because I just feel like it's important. But let's jump into this, shall we?
Yes. So we start with a little bit of background on the movie. We get kind of like a narrative intro where the world fell into an epidemic, and after that, they turned to a simpler way of life, hence the western-y kind of vibe that we get. We learn that Apocalypta, the villain, her name is Apocalypta.
Yes.
Is building an army of the dead. We get a little bit of a musical pop number for the intro, and I have to say, this is the second time I've seen this movie, because the first time you wouldn't watch it with me. So I kind of had to force you to watch it this time.
No. So see, now we have to break our rhythm here, because let's set that record straight. So you went to go see Carla for a girls' night, bad boy band, B movie.
Because I wanted to watch this with you, and you were like, I don't want to watch that.
That's not why. You wanted to go have a girls' night where everyone wanted to get together, and you pushed this out as we got to watch this bad movie. And luckily, she's into B movies and bad so good movies, or so bad they're good movies. Mm-hmm. And so, don't reel this on me.
She loved orcs, by the way.
There's a lot of stuff. You didn't watch Space Detective with me.
There's no excuse for that movie.
You haven't even seen it.
I don't need to.
See, and now you never will, because I'm not watching it again.
Because there's no excuse for that movie?
No, actually, you know what? Maybe we should do an episode on it. There's some interesting things about it. Anyway.
Okay,
move along. Apocalyptic.
Anyway, I was saying, the first time I saw this, I got kind of excited because I was like, maybe we're going to hear a conglomerate of boy bands singing numbers throughout this movie. And Nick Carter, who's one of the writers and, the main star, is talking. He's doing the narration in this super gravelly voice to the point where he's almost unintelligible. And I know in your notes, you're like, can't understand anything he's saying.
Yeah. Well, that was a sound issue too, because
Yeah.
it was not mixed well.
Yeah, but he was also like, and then the world.
Well,
It
yeah,
was kind of weird. So Apocalypta, which is too long to type every time, so I just started calling her A in my notes right away. I'm like, nope, not doing this. In typical villain style, is talking to herself, laying out her full plan for world domination. And then she turns to a chained up guy in a cage and starts talking to him. And she turns him into a zombie by killing him.
right.
And she is wild looking, this woman.
Yes.
She's got like tribal-ish kind of tattoos all over her face.
Yep. Shaven head.
Full shaved head. She can, and she does this several times throughout the movie. She can open her mouth like a snake unhinging its jaw.
Like a distended jaw. Yeah.
It is crazy.
Well, what caps it off to me is this fucking crazy eyes.
She's
Through the whole thing.
actress.
Yep.
She's magnificent at doing the crazy eyes.
Did not get caught in a single shot not doing those crazy eyes.
I don't even know if she blinks throughout the whole movie.
I don't know. Well, I wonder because nobody has a resting face like that. But I mean, she's just like, oh, this wide open, crazy. They're just crazy looking. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Well, I know. She looks great and super creepy.
Nailed it.
Yeah. So then she starts speaking, and I think she's speaking zombie to the zombie.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's making zombie noises at him.
Yeah.
But like she's talking sentences. And then she feeds him, and he apparently is becoming part of her army. Mm-hmm. And right away, I'm kind of like, well, if you're doing it one at a time, I think you're doing it kind of the long way around.
Yeah, I've got some thoughts on that
but
later.
Anyway, so then we get some beautiful, I can't think, drone footage of Montana, I believe it is. That's where they filmed this.
Right.
And there's this massive white statue, this woman, and it's really pretty. Very, very stark in contrast to the rest of the landscape.
Yes, it is huge.
It's massive.
Yeah. So then up on the screen pops Chapter 1, Attack on Harper's Junction. So then we got a guy on horseback who's leading a pickup, which is leading a small band of zombies. Then we cut to Harper's Junction, says it's 10 miles east, and we're introduced to Billy. He's got a backwards hat and wearing a t-shirt. So right away, I'm not a fan of backwards hats. So he goes to work on a motorcycle and all of a sudden, whoops, the zombies are coming into the station. Billy sees them, sounds the alarm, which blares across the countryside, which when that happened, my first thought was, this is not how, if there are zombies out and about, the last thing you do is run a siren that goes like 3 miles, cause yeah. Anyway, technical oopsie for zombie survival. So it's blaring out across the countryside and people are fleeing to either their posts or indoors. So it did look like there was some semblance of everyone had a place. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't have a place, you get the hell out of the place. Right? Get out of the way. And the sheriff is sleeping on the porch.
Yeah.
So that alarm, I don't know how effective it was. Along with the zombies, horse riding guy comes in and he's shooting people.
Yes.
A zombie makes its way up to the sheriff. Billy blows a zombie's head off with a pistol. And then he's on the move, saving people. There is right away. I mean, we're in this thing not even 10 full minutes, right? There is a lot of blood splatter. A lot of it is CGI. The initial, right? Mm-hmm. Explosions and stuff. But there's a lot of practical for the after spray.
Yes.
Yeah. So there is a lot of drippy blood in here. So he hops on his bike and he rolls off, right? The zombies are still closing in on people and there's Billy zooming in on the last second, saving folks. So apparently he had to do a lap.
Yeah.
Right. And then a zombie causes him to crash and he's laying on the ground with his bike. Gas is leaking. Zombies coming. Then a woman in a Jeep comes up. Daisy Jane.
Yes.
Because it said, Daisy Jane.
Everyone gets these intros across the street.
So the super comes up. There's the text, Daisy Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Makes catching names super handy.
Yeah, even though I still missed Billy at the beginning. Although I knew it was Jeff Timmons.
Well, but he didn't get a title.
He didn't get one?
He didn't get one. But everyone called him Billy. I mean, he was, hey, Billy. Hi, Billy. Even the sheriff was like, how you doing, Billy?
Whatever.
Anyway. So Daisy Jane saves him by stabbing the zombie in the head. They go around the camp and they hear some sounds of distress. Horse riding guy kicks the gun out of Daisy's hands. He works for Apocalypta. And I'm just going to, because it took me a lot longer to get tired of typing out her name. And folks, I don't know what you think, but typing out the word apocalypse is the most distressing fucking word in the English language. I mean,
it really is.
Fingers are going places like, this isn't how, no. So typing apocalypse is hard enough, but then apocalypta. And I know it's very distressing. Well, and trying to keep up with fucking autocorrect.
Yes, because it doesn't like the word apocalypta.
Well, it doesn't like a lot of things, but yeah, that made it super hard. So Crazy Lady. Apocalypta is now Crazy Lady. Billy shows up and knocks horse riding guy down, says he's taking him to the sheriff. So then we cut to the sheriff whose face is half eaten. So he never woke up from his nap. So they take him away in the Jeep. Yeah.
So the guy that they caught on the horse is AJ McLean in like clown makeup.
Yeah, well, cross between clown and mime. I was trying to figure out which, but I ended up going with clown makeup. But yeah, it's kind of a mimey clown.
Yeah, bright white all over the face, like red lines on the eyes, black lines on the eyes. I don't know why. But it does play into his like crazy shtick.
Well, think about Mad Max.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Think about the old ones. And then Road Warrior, Beyond Thunderdome, and even the new one, the remake, right? How much money did it cost to dress those people up to give that post-apocalyptic look? Okay. So now this is an Asylum film. They don't have a lot of budget. What could be cheaper than 2 tins of makeup? One white, one
white
black.
Cream. Anyway. So yeah, they are bringing him to Desert Springs, which is a nearby settlement.
Mm-hmm.
So the mayor of Desert Springs is also a member of a boy band. I can't remember his name though. He's the one that I'm like, I know him, but I don't know who he is.
Can't help you.
Anyway, he's got a rad eye patch, and we get a little flashback of how Apocalypta took his eye for some reason that isn't really well explained. Oh, I thought you were doing a sound effect.
I was just changing my screen.
Oh.
Relax. Don't worry. If it happens, let it come naturally.
So, already this plot is ridiculous. And I love it. And they say they're going to hang him. And we learn that his name is Johnny in this film.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I stopped calling him AJ. They're going to hang him at sunrise. So they walk away and he pulls a lockpick out of his glove as they're walking away. And Apocalypta is not pleased that they got Johnny. Or A, as my notes say. So, overnight, Johnny's buddy breaks him out of jail by like blowing the wall of the jail off.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he needed the lockpick. Seems kind of superfluous.
I thought maybe he didn't have faith in anybody coming to get him.
Fair enough. Yeah. And no one notices really that the wall gets blown off of the jail. You'd think it would make a noise, but no one's like alerted to it.
No, but you know what? That got a hard, not a hard pass, but a smooth pass for me, because there's a lot of Westerns, especially a lot of the modern Westerns. I'm talking from the 90s through today, where there's a lot of blowing the fucking back of the jail off. And it doesn't seem to catch anybody's attention, So I'm like, that's cool. Fair.
Yeah. So they're running off, and Johnny says they have one more job to do before they leave town. So thing we see, there's a kid on a stairwell, and he's like playing with a little car or something on the stairs. And Johnny comes up to him. The kid's name is Georgie. And Johnny's talking to him for a little bit, and then he pulls out a syringe, and we cut away. So we know that Georgie's done for.
Yeah.
So here's a common problem with Asylum Films. It's either the next day or possibly that same night, because we keep fluctuating between day and night randomly.
There is not a lot of delineation clearly placed between certain time frames in a lot of the films, even like Sharknado.
Yeah.
There's moments like where, it's been days. It seems like you just walked out the door and now we're seeing you from the outside walking out. But
yeah. So the sheriff and the mayor are talking, and they're upset about him escaping. So they found out about that. And so the mayor tells the sheriff that he needs to gather up the best fighters he can to go kill Johnny and Apocalypta. So now we know we're going to meet the magnificent Dead Seven.
Yes. And if you weren't sure, on the screen pops up Chapter 2, The Magnificent Dead Seven.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some guys playing poker at a table. We got a bearded fellow, Whiskey Joe, who's being accused of cheating. One of the guys threatens him. He stands up, blah, 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 and the fight ensues. It's 4-on-1. He wins, grabs a drink, his hat, and he's off. And as he's outside pissing on the side of the building, the deputy comes to him, asks if he's Whiskey Joe, and if he wants a job. He accepts and offers his friend's service as well, who's not there. It's like, well, I got a friend, right?
Uh-huh.
Who would be good for this. Because that's what you always do, is, offer up weird shit. So then we cut to his friend, who's shooting a rifle long range. His name is Vaquero. And they call him Vaquero. So Vaquero is the name. Whiskey Joe rolls up to him, telling him that he found them some work. And then there's a zombie stuck in a fence way off, and Vaquero takes him out. So we got that whole, and the Magnificent Seven recruitment ripoff begins.
Yes.
Now we have a samurai-looking fellow, complete with sword, named Komodo.
So Whiskey Joe is played by Joey Fatone. Komodo is played by Eric Michael Estrada, who is Puerto Rican. Not any kind of Asian at all.
No, I mean, not that it matters, I suppose.
I mean, no, not particularly, but
I still have to speak out about this fucking hoodie. So he's got like a overextended ripped hoodie that he's using as a fucking kimono. It just looks so ridiculous. It's, I could be in any post-apocalyptic situation you could name. I could whip up a quick kimono. I mean, it's not going to be gorgeous, but it's not going to look like a goddamn hoodie.
I think that was part of the aesthetic they were going for, though.
Well, I don't have to like it just because they meant it.
That's true.
All right. So we have Komodo, and now we have Daisy, Daisy Jane, who's in a bar. Apparently, teeth are currency. Now, I didn't get this at the poker game. They're playing for teeth, right, with Whiskey Joe, and I'm like, what in the fuck? So they weren't super clear about what that was all about. It just seemed like, weird people doing some truly weird shit. That's what I got out of it. Sending a letter is like 5 teeth. Sending a ranger out to look for someone is like 50 teeth. I'm like, what the fuck? who came up with this fucking idea for currency. So it's zombie teeth, or as they refer to the zombies in this film, copperheads.
Right.
So they're copperhead teeth. So all the zombies, I thought right away, are like, oh, they're like fucking walking ATMs.
Right.
You know. Anyway, moving past that. So we have Daisy and Billy are in a bedroom, and it's morning. Billy asks why she's trying to find his brother, and she says, Jack is the best. All right. And if you're wondering, like I was, well, what is it about Jack that makes him the best? Worry not, folks, because no sooner does her line end, we cut to Jack sleeping outdoors as the ranger pulls up. He shoots at the ranger, and the ranger gives him the message. Just want to say, this is one thing. This is not the first movie to do it by any means, but this is one of those situations where everybody's a fucking deadeye.
Yes.
But they always miss, like, the guy who's got the message. Mm-hmm. It's not like he was doing any kind of, fucking, front four zigging and zagging, trying to get some yardage or anything. He just like rolled up and miss. Oh, I got a message. Any other time, bam, dead.
Yes.
But see, then Jack wouldn't have got the message. Anyway.
And Jack is played by Nick Carter, who's the writer and also former.
Yeah. I know you have something you want to say about that too.
So I'll go ahead and say it because, I don't know that I actually put it in my notes, but up until we meet the character Jack, the acting in this film. So, they're not classically trained actors. But you get the sense, watching up until this point, that most of them are doing this because it's fun. Yeah.
It's very clear, in fact.
You don't get the sense that anyone's doing this because they want to break into Hollywood as an actor. Right?
Right.
But then we meet the character Jack. And Nick Carter is just wildly serious about this role.
Yep.
He's extremely serious about it. And it's just, he's not awful.
No. It's very earnest.
It is very earnest. But it's just an interesting contrast to see.
As I say, that's what makes it seem even more earnest. It's like he's not the only one. Because the non-boy band actors, other than his wife,
right,
were doing it like Apocalypta.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That shit is full on, she didn't look like she was having a good time. Yeah. She looked like she was doing her job.
And the sheriff, who is not in a boy band, he seemed like he was pretty serious too.
Yeah.
About his parts.
Yeah.
But all of the boy band members are clearly just having fun.
And that's fine.
Yeah. So next we get the super, which is chapter 3, Plan of Attack. And we're at a town that apparently has a quarantine checkpoint. Mm-hmm. And I guess it's Desert Springs. I'm not super sure. But this is where all the misfits are going to gather and meet Cooper, the sheriff. So they lay out a plan. It's not super well laid out, but it references the Lady of the Mountain statue. And then for some reason they all leave and go to a bar, and Cooper, the sheriff, tries to clear it out. There's like one other person in this bar, and also all of their bar, what did you call them?
Bar sluts?
Yeah, all of the bar sluts.
No, there was a few people in there that, interestingly enough, looked like armed individuals fully capable of handling themselves and might be happy for a few teeth.
Right.
Join up.
So Cooper tries to clear it out, and this one guy argues with him, but it's okay for the bar sluts to stay for some reason.
That's what I immediately noticed.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and he tells the gang to enjoy themselves before they set out the next day. So he goes home after how many days of recruiting people? Probably several. And his home is the home where the little boy was. So I don't know what this little boy was doing for the days that his guardian was gone.
Yeah, I don't know.
And so he finds his ward, zombified now.
Mm-hmm.
So back at the bar, they're talking about needing a tracker. And Komodo mentions Serene, who is a warrior priestess.
Yeah.
And there's mention like, you don't find her, she finds you. It's dumb.
Yeah.
The couple talks about Jack. And so while they're talking, the sheriff is slinking towards them out in the alley, like just outside the bar. And he's a zombie now. And there's a bunch more zombies following him. And the zombies kind of come into the bar and the gang fights them off. And Vaquero in this bar, as they're fighting, is actually firing his long-range rifle.
Yeah.
Inside the bar.
Yeah. I don't know. Should I point out?
It's on a tripod.
Yeah. But should I point out he had a pistol?
I'm no good with that one.
It's just for looks, man.
And I started wondering, how has no one in this town noticed the growing zombie problem while the sheriff was away? Because it's not like they were just waiting.
Well, no.
That's just the kind of quality plot hole you get in an Asylum film.
Yeah.
So Jack ends up showing up and saving Daisy Jane from a zombie. So now he's there.
Yep.
Whiskey Joe makes a Molotov cocktail with his prostitute's garter belt.
Classic.
It's fantastic. And Joey Fatone playing Whiskey Joe is clearly having the best time out of anyone in this movie.
Well, he's the wild card. And hands down throughout the whole film, he's got the best, just off the cuff fucking moments.
For real. And they burn up half the bar, and the mayor's not mad about this at all. And he tells them to keep on the mission, and he'll give them anything they want.
I already thought they had talked about teeth.
He literally said, I'll give you anything you want.
Yeah. Well, in a post-apocalyptic world, that's not a real big thing to offer, because it's like, well, there's nothing to give. So it doesn't matter what you want.
Right. So then we see Komodo, and I'm not totally sure why a lot of these scenes were in here, but Komodo's having a really cheesy scene with his bar slut.
Right.
Who's named Trixie.
Yeah.
And it's super ridiculous. They're apparently in love now.
They've clicked.
Yeah.
In those 7.5 minutes in the bar.
Uh-huh. And she's planning to go to this brothel that she knows of for work.
Right. Which is apparently in the middle of nowhere.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they're chatting. And this is of note because so far they've killed a lot of zombies, but so far no one has been pulling the teeth out. But Komodo seems like the first person to realize the value of zombie teeth, because a zombie comes up and tries to attack them, and they just kind of like nonchalantly, very slowly kind of kill it, really ineffectually.
Yeah.
So he wants to harvest the teeth from the zombie that they killed while talking. And she's like, it's gross. I'm like, bitch, that's a shitload of money.
Yeah, it is.
You know how many teeth you can pull from someone's face?
I got to admit, at this scene here.
Please go on.
It's not that I questioned the capability of our squad of heroes up to this point, but there were 8 total attempts to kill this zombie while they're having their conversation. And I have to admit, I thought, well, this isn't going to go well.
Right.
For these people. And, I know it was supposed to be the humor bit, but it just seemed sort of, I don't know, I felt a little sad for him. Plus the fact that, you're in love with a prostitute who's going out to the middle of nowhere to make money.
At a brothel.
And I don't mean like some town in the middle of nowhere, right?
Right. No, it's just a house in the middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere. It took spoiler, takes them for fucking ever to cover the distance.
And they seem to when they come up to it, it's kind of like accidental.
Yeah.
They can't, how does this brothel make any money? Who goes there?
Right? There's no road.
No. It's like a little Victorian plunked in the middle of the woods.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what that's all about. Anyway, so after that, we have chapter 4, a mine full of zombies. So, rolling along in a Wrangler and a motorcycle and a horse, the gang is on the move. We cut to who I am guessing is Serene. She's all made up witch doctor-like, and she's looking at tracks. Don't know what tracks. So the gang rolls up to a fence, kills a zombie. Vaquero pulls some teeth. Someone thought, hey, at this point in the shooting, we need to be pulling some teeth because, these are mercenaries.
Well, yeah, they work for money.
Yeah. I mean, in a post-apocalyptic world, if cold hard cash was still, the currency, would you walk past a row of Brinks trucks spilled out over a cornfield and be like, nah.
And you know what? To the credit of the people who wrote this and thought this up, having zombie teeth as a currency in a zombie apocalypse is actually kind of smart, because zombie teeth indicate less zombies, which is the most valuable thing,
I suppose,
in a zombie apocalypse.
I suppose.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're more valuable to the community if you can kill zombies. And you prove that you can kill zombies by getting zombie teeth.
I suppose. I can see that. But I also see a point where, I made my fortune by literally my own two hands. I'm done. You get to a point where you've got, a pickup truck bed full of zombie teeth. You're like, well, I'm done hunting these things,
Well, I think if you have a pickup truck bed full of zombie teeth, you've earned the right to a retirement.
Well, thank you. All right. So Vaquero pulls some teeth. Jack says there's an armory inside this place. So they're going in to get the guns and whatever's in there. And Serene, this is what was weird. This happens in a lot of Asylum films. So she's looking at them from above. And then my first thought was, above where? I'm not sure. Because it's not like this thing is in a pit, right?
They're in a wide, flat plain.
Yes. So I don't know where she's like
looking at them from. Yeah.
Anyway, you just got to move past it.
You do.
So they split up and they go looking. Lots of dead or dead zombies about, just basically a lot of bodies.
Yeah.
Right. And this, I just want to say too, this is one thing that does irritate me about all zombie films, from Walking Dead to, Zombieland, even, actually Night of the Living Dead didn't have this issue, right? Because wasn't a whole lot going on, but the bodies laying around, I've seen a lot of bodies in a lot of presentations that don't have holes in the head. So I'm like, well, why aren't they zombies?
Right.
Right. There seems to be still a lack of cohesion on at what point are you viable to turn into a zombie, which, like Walking Dead, is anything. You sever a head, the head's like,
right.
The body can't do anything. Right. But yeah, anyway. So a lot of these bodies laying about, and then, bam, seems like the zombies or the copperheads sleep.
Right.
So all of these bodies are now standing up. And then we have a lot more zombie fighting. And then there's even more coming out of a mine shaft. And I have to say, for people who are desperately low on ammo, they are sure letting loose with the bullets.
Yeah.
I mean, Daisy alone shot 7 rounds into a zombie's head, right? It wasn't like bang, 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 trying to get up to her head.
Right.
Shot him in the head 7 times. And this is after they had a big long thing. We're almost out of ammo. They also seem to get surprised a lot by zombies. I don't know. Anyway, in the mess, Jack is about to get munched when Serene shows up. And then that problem is solved. Now they're off. I just wanted to take a note here that the practical effects are not terrible.
Right.
Right? Like I said, there's still some CGI explosions, the initial, popping of the head and whatever. But they rolled over a zombie's head, and it was pretty satisfying. That one was pretty good. So, back to Crazy Lady. Johnny's giving her an update, and he also brought with him a volunteer who wants to join her army. So, after a lot of talk, I didn't note it, she slits the guy's throat, babbling something while she's doing it. Sure, okay.
Yeah, and Johnny's like kind of upset about it.
Yeah.
But not really upset.
Right. We'll come back to that later on.
So then we're at chapter 5, and I didn't note the title of this chapter, so we're just going to have to guess it. The gang zooms out of there where they're all fighting zombies that just like kind of come out of nowhere. And they leave 3 of them behind. It's Whiskey Joe, Komodo, and Vaquero get left behind as Jack and Daisy and Billy and Serene go the other way. So they say that they're going to meet up later and send each other their location. And we have a couple bad guys watching from a distance, and those guys report back to Apocalypta.
Yeah.
So the groups immediately can't hear one another on the radios.
That old chestnut.
So they keep moving toward the mountain separately.
Yes.
And yeah, that was part of their plan, was to get to this mountain, I guess, which is where Apocalypta is. So, Serene saves Jack from one of the bad guys trying to pick off the split groups. And she then she finds a zombie, digs some bones out of a zombie's stomach, and tells them that the zombie was hand-fed, so it's one that Apocalypta made. Just a lot of really weird shit.
Well, she pointed out that the bones were cut.
Right.
Not splintered or gnawed. Yeah, it was like a butcher's cut.
Yeah. So they must be close to the mountain then, since it was a hand-fed zombie.
Sure, because they don't walk forever, but...
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they see the entrance of an old mine shaft and decide to rest there. And then suddenly, they're in like a yurt. Which doesn't make any sense to me. I know you've reasoned it away as that was where Serene's digs were, but yeah. Well, I mean, like, they just happened to be in that location?
There's a shot of what looks like a mine entrance, right? Old West style, some wood and everything. So, and now, maybe I'm wrong, but I've been trained over my lifetime when watching film, when they like show a door on a close-up, and then the next scene is people are like in a building, I'm going to assume that's the fucking door they went through.
Sure.
Right? So I thought they went into the cave or the mine entrance.
Right.
Right? Or one of the mines, some fucking hole in the ground. But here's the thing. For the longest time, it was nothing but close-ups. They could have been anywhere.
But it's a yurt. It's like circular. It's clearly not a mine shaft. It's a yurt.
Well,
and
maybe
no one can convince me otherwise.
Maybe it's like, maybe she carved out a yurt-like space in the beginning.
So she's giving them some unnecessary backstory, which isn't important, so I'm just not going to recount it.
Yeah, it absolutely had nothing to do with anything.
The one little bit of it, I guess I can recount, is the reason they call zombies copperheads is because they originally started in the mine, which is a copper mine, and they called the miners copperheads. So when zombies started coming out, they just didn't bother to call them something different. But where the hell did this yurt come from?
I'm telling you, it was the hole in the mountain.
So then we're back with the three amigos, Whiskey Joe and Komodo and Vaquero. And they're camped also and are about to head out. And that's it. That's that whole scene. Probably didn't even need to know that, honestly.
Nope.
So then we're back at Apocalypta with her lair and I'm going to put this in air quotes, so just so you can, an army of zombies.
Yeah.
Behind a poorly constructed wall.
Right.
She's telling them to obey her and then licks the blood from one of their chins.
Yeah.
She's got like a 2-foot-long tongue.
Yeah, it was a little unsettling.
Yeah. I wrote, she's actually a great-looking villain.
Well, she is.
Yeah. Way over the top. But you know what? That's fine.
Yeah.
She has like finger earrings.
Yeah.
No, like earrings that have fingers dangling from them. And
I didn't note it, but her hands, she had some long, which helped play into the whole thing when she would raise, how like a villain will raise their hands up to their face and gesticulate with their fingers. Oh.
She's pretty freaky.
Yeah.
So the three amigos, I'm just going to say Whiskey Joe's group, end up near the brothel in the middle of nowhere somehow. And Komodo says, like, he insists that they have to stop by because Trixie's there.
Right.
And it's just a weird stone building. This is what we talked about just a little bit ago. A weird stone building in the middle of nowhere. Don't know how this place gets any business. So many questions. Then we're back with Jack and gang, and they find the zombie wall. And I mean, they try to make it look like a lot of zombies, but I don't think there's any more than 20 or so at any given point in this movie.
No.
In a shot.
No. Well,
it never feels like an overwhelming number of zombies.
Well, here's the thing. This is one of those things where Asylum, they're smart about this, right? They know how much money they can put into a film because they know pretty much exactly what they're going to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But we've talked about, so there's a lot of actually craftsmanship that's not employed here. We have talked about how they can take a group of 10 or 20 people and make it look like an army of hundreds or even thousands, just by rotating camera angles and shifting things a little bit and actually moving the extras around so nobody's in the same place all the time.
Right.
And it sounds like a simple, why doesn't everybody do it? That can take all day.
That's true.
That is an enormous amount of money that you have to pay out for everyone to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And, in lower budget films, we don't get that. A lot of times we don't get the big sell of like, man, look at that army. It's like, she just empty a city bus and like, I'm done.
It's sort of an underwhelming zombie army. And they make it seem like, so her name's Apocalypta, so they make it seem like her plan is going to be the end of the world. But in looking at it, she's got very small dreams. Like she wants to take out this particular town.
Right.
And then she wants to take out this other particular town.
Well, it's the fault in the story plot, which many films have suffered from. She's the bad, she wants to be in charge.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, in charge of fucking what? I mean, you're killing everything left and right. So pretty soon it's you and like 2 functionaries.
Mm-hmm.
How would that be gratifying?
I don't know, man.
Anyway.
So they also, between all these shots, keep showing the same aerial shots of the same mountain.
Saves money.
It's just the same shot repeated over and over again.
I just want to say, in fairness, though, Walt Disney did the same thing in Escape to Witch Mountain.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. You've shown me that same fucking picture like 11 times in the past 27 minutes. I get where they're going. Stop it.
That's fair. So Whiskey Joe and gang are at the brothel, and they just keep cutting between the two groups with not much happening at all.
Right.
So then Johnny's watching Jack and gang as they hike up the mountain, and then this is great.
It's one of my favorites.
Billy's in the rear, and Johnny catches him in a snare that everyone else missed.
Yes.
But Billy stepped in it, got caught up, and no one notices. They just keep walking.
Right? And it's not like he's 100 yards behind.
And it's also not like it's a quiet snare.
No, this is loud as shit. That was my first thing. So I'm like, how does nobody not hear this? Well, Daisy was the next one up from him. And I was guessing maybe 30 feet maximum.
Right. They were staying pretty close together.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing missing was Johnny just screaming like a banshee as he was beating the piss out of Billy. But there's a lot of gravel and thud, thud, thud.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. Well, so in light of that happening, we move on to chapter 6, The Trap. I felt like this kind of diffused any tension I might find in this ride so far. So I already know it's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. We're such geeks. So everything I was looking at from this point on was like, well, it's a trap. That's a trap. That's a trap. That's a trap. That's a trap. Anything that happened is not surprising.
It's a trap.
So we're back to the trio, right, who did get into the brothel. They're going to take some liberties before hanging out. The madam is supposed to be showing Vaquero to the guns and ammo. Trixie finds Komodo. The madam is still leading Vaquero around. And I know you wrote in your notes, this place is like a fucking TARDIS.
I know.
It's massive inside. And I wrote, how big is this fucking place?
There's another building that's like that too, later on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going like up and down stairs, labyrinthian basements and everything. And then at one point, the place is like 4 stories tall. It's fucking ridiculous. So she eventually, leads Vaquero into a bedroom with this big, plump zombie tied to the bed, and she shoves him in.
Yes.
And so as to not have to contemplate that, we're immediately pushed to the next group, minus Billy, and we have Daisy shouting for him. And then that's it.
No, I know.
That's it. Just a close-up of her, Billy. And then we're back to the brothel. Vaquero got away, yelling, "It's a trap." Komodo and Whiskey Joe, they make it out. Vaquero is changing into a zombie.
He got bit.
Yeah. And see, this is one of those things, again, where I understand where people are going, but it just irritates me because you know how I am. I like consistency, right? If you're bit, you get sick, you die, you come back. But we have so many movies where people run around like one fucking zombie eye and, you know, like a snaggletooth. And they're like, oh, I'm going. And it takes them, you know, like 45 fucking minutes to turn. Where everyone else is like bit, dead, boom, back, causing trouble. So anyway, as Vaquero is changing into a zombie, Whiskey Joe pulls out his harmonica and starts to play it. And then blows Vaquero's head off.
Yeah.
Don't know. I thought, well, this really isn't a Magnificent Seven kind of thing. I'm sort of wondering if this was a hat tip too, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, where they play the violins while Lee Van Cleef beats the ever-living shit out of people inside.
Know. Maybe it's just something that Joey Fatone added to the role.
Maybe.
For giggles.
At this point, I don't even know if the director was in charge of these guys at all. I mean, because they were clearly having fun. So now we've got Daisy, Jack, and Serene. They've made it to the top of the mountain, and they're heading into the mines from the top.
Right.
But they find a shack along the way, and evidently this is the entrance to the mines.
This shack is
Oh my!
also like a TARDIS.
You knocked Daryl over.
Daryl. Well, just keep going. We'll fix him later.
That was scarier than the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Anyway, in they go, and there's body parts everywhere, and then there's zombies in cages, and then they find Billy in a cage, and then Johnny shows up and grabs Daisy. He radios Crazy Lady Apocalypta, who is sicking a zombie on another functionary.
I know.
And at this thought, I wrote this down. What kind of fucking training program is she running? She has to be running out of functionaries at this point between feeding them to the zombies, killing them outright, you know?
Yeah.
She's got, like, you can count on one hand the number of living who are serving her bidding.
I mean, it's pretty much just Johnny now.
Well, yeah, you can start at one hand and it just gets down. I think there's one more guy who someone feeds to someone, or he's there just, I don't know.
Who even knows?
So then we cut back to Johnny, and he is just stabbing the shit out of Daisy.
Yeah.
I mean, this was like one of the most, you know, it's been gunshots, it's been, you know, punches, some stabbing, brain stabbing, you know, kind of stuff. But he looked like this was his last chance in the cafeteria in Folsom to make an impression. He was like just going to town on her.
Between Joey Fatone and AJ McLean, I think those two had the most fun.
They had to. So he dumps her into the zombies, and now Crazy Lady is down at the bottom of the mountain, opening the pen outside the weird wall, right?
What the fuck?
Okay, at the bottom of the mountain, she's letting the zombies out. So then we cut back to Billy. So Jack is there to set him free. Now Daisy is a zombie. Coming at him, Jack kills her. Billy loses his shit. And then we're deeper in the mine, and there's some weird laughing. They go further in. There's more laughing. And now zombies are behind them. So here's what I put together in this situation. So Apocalypta, who was in the mine, right?
Uh-huh.
Apparently there's no bottom entrance. So she climbed
even
all
though
the way
they
up.
saw the mine shaft at the bottom, and
Right.
then they were further climbing up.
Yeah. So she ran up to the top, got out, ran down the mountain to the fenced-in pen, let the zombies out. The zombies climbed all the way back up the mountain, went in the mine so they could come in behind Billy and Jack.
Yeah.
Right? And at this point, I just put a note. It's super important to draw a map of your layouts and give consideration to where people are and how to get them there.
People notice that kind of thing.
Yeah. So now the group is running out of the mine. And yeah. And it's a big ass gate. And that's the other thing. At the bottom of the mountain. Why didn't they know this before? It was so much easier to see than that mine entrance at the top of the mountain in that little hut building.
That was 20 by 30. And while they were walking through it, it seemed like one of the Hostel movies, you know, where it's the giant warehouse.
Yes. Okay. So, Serene is explaining that Crazy Lady rebuilt the mines.
Which, if she knew this?
Right. And I just thought this is a super poor one-liner written solely to excuse this blatant location fuck up. Because it made no sense whatsoever. You don't rebuild a mine.
No.
You know, especially if it's just you.
Right.
I mean, because she's going through functionaries so much, you know that she hasn't been building it up. Anyway, then they come out on two of the gamblers that Whiskey Joe was fighting with way back earlier, and they're pulling teeth out of some poor guy who's alive, and he's screaming. And I love this. They just fucking move right by. They just walk right on. Gamblers don't even notice them.
And they take the horses that are there.
Yeah, and now they're on horses. And then we're back at Desert Springs. Whiskey Joe and Komodo are close by, apparently.
Right.
We get that sense.
So then we're in Chapter 7, Attack on Desert Springs.
Yes.
And so Whiskey and Komodo decide to follow the zombies they're seeing back to Desert Springs. It took them days to get to this mountain. And now suddenly, within like a 10-minute jog, they're all back in Desert Springs.
Yes.
The mayor sees Apocalypta and aims at her, and then Johnny caps him in the knees and gives him a pretty unceremonious death.
Yes.
And so the gang are all back in Desert Springs and are fighting zombies in the town. And the fight is obviously supposed to have tension, but it's not super exciting. It's not like they're overrun. It's like, oh, it's not a good fight.
It's a slow burn.
You're so kind. So Johnny and Serene meet up and fight. Billy takes a bullet for Serene and dies.
Yeah.
Whiskey Joe gets the zombies' attention and runs off so that Jack and the gang can like take 10 minutes to say goodbye to Billy.
Yeah. Sure. Why not?
I mean, that's actually the reason.
Oh, I know. And I when that was happening, I'm like, sure. Why not?
Komodo catches up to Johnny as he's being overrun by zombies.
Yeah. Can I comment on that, please?
Sure.
So here's been an ongoing problem throughout this. If you're the leader of a zombie horde, right? And she's supposed to have like hand trained these people, hence all the, feeding them and doing this, and they're supposed to obey her. Wouldn't you think, don't eat my living functionaries would be part of the process? Or even if she just didn't give a shit, wouldn't you think? Because it looked like Johnny had been with her for quite a while.
Right.
Right? You think he would have picked up on a couple safety tips. Right? But throughout this whole thing, people are getting surrounded by zombies like it's their first fucking day.
In Zombieland.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought he was on their side. Weird. In any case, Komodo comes up and beheads him, and Apocalypta sees this from where she's watching.
I didn't even know she was around.
And she's pretty pissed about it. So she unhinges her jaw and yells, her trademark for this film.
Yeah.
Ah! That's what she does the whole thing.
She had remarkably few lines.
Yeah.
In fact, most of it was just get bobbledygook, chanting shit.
Zombie language, maybe.
Yeah, which is why we didn't really get a feel for, how in depth is your plan? I mean, are you like a evil genius or, just is your hobby?
I mean, a zombie language assumes that zombies could create their own language, which they can't.
But she wasn't doing that only with the zombies. When she killed the guy,
right?
Cut his throat. She was, mecca lecca hi, mecca hiney ho, gobbledygook. And they do this in so many films. They pull these weird, either they construct them or they throw things together to make it sound, voodoo, chanting and stuff. And it really, it's such a waste. I'd really rather hear her express to me, the viewer, this is the evil shit I have in mind,
mm-hmm.
rather than just screaming, wiggling her fingers. But
yeah. So it's time for Jack and Apocalypta to have their showdown, and she just fucking charges him.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie. It made me think of Redwood Massacre.
Yeah.
When Burlap it
was scary.
Just charges.
Yeah. I mean, that was much scarier than this.
It was unexpected. I will say that. I expected her to start weaving zombies and doing some stuff. Nope.
No, just straight up.
Full on playground.
And then we have Whiskey Joe trying to lure the zombies, and he radios Komodo and calls him Eric by mistake. And no one edited that out. So I was like,
It's funny because I thought of this today. During our cleaning, we had the office in the background.
Yeah.
running, repeats of The Office. And it was the episode where Meredith gets hit.
Mhm.
No, it was after that. It was after episode after where she comes back and she's got her hip cast on and she asks Jim to sign it. I was just happy to be looking at the screen, and he's when Jim's signing it, he actually signed John Krasinski instead of Jim Halpert.
That's funny.
And I thought, yeah, see, it's those little things that you just, why bother?
Yeah.
Well, just think about it. This would have to have been discovered in post. And then they would have been like, well, we got to bring someone in and then we have to get everything set up and get the ADR room.
Right.
Set, and just so he can call him by one name. And then we got to integrate that back in. Again, that's an entire day's worth of money for dozens of people involved in the process.
Mm-hmm.
So you just let it go.
And Joe gets overrun before Komodo can get to him. And Komodo's girlfriend gets bit, so Komodo doesn't rush off to him. And Joe, meanwhile, he's a zombie now. And I need to explain that earlier in the movie, while they were in the brothel.
We both skipped past this.
No, I explained it in my notes, but
did you?
Yeah, but you were we had your notes for that part, but because I knew that it was important because I'd seen this before.
Oh,
so
that's not fair.
I know. Okay, so Joe is a drunk, right? Whiskey Joe, and it's ridiculous throughout the whole thing. So he's talking to one of the prostitutes in the brothel, and she comments on how he has 2 flasks in his belt. And he jokes a minute about how, he like, it's because I double fist. And then he's like, no, seriously though. This one's filled with blood and this one's filled with whiskey. And she's like, why the fuck do you have a flask filled with blood? And he explains that it's attached to some C4. That's
sewn into his jacket.
Right. And it's a trick flask. So if he ever becomes a zombie, he'll smell the blood. Let's just glide right past the fact that you can't smell what's in a flask from the outside of it.
Well, and you're not supposed to be able to open, do complicated functions like open flasks. That's like 8 twists and, unlock doors and stuff and safe combinations and shit. But anyway.
Well, to be fair, he doesn't expect the zombie to be able to open it. It's just pulling it out of the belt.
Right. But if you can't smell it, why would he be?
Yeah. So it's attached to a trigger line, which if he ever becomes a zombie, the zombie him will pull the flask out and blow himself up.
Zombie bits everywhere.
Yeah. So Zombie Joe, meanwhile, smells his trick flask at his belt and blows himself up with it along with some of the zombies.
Yeah.
So then Komodo gets bit from his zombie dead girlfriend while kissing her.
Well, so she was dying, right?
Yeah.
And he was kissing her because, that's the first thing that I think comes to everybody's mind. When somebody's dying, you just want to French the life out of them.
Sure.
And it seemed like that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
As she was dying.
Yeah. It's so dumb.
Well, but what happens?
So, so yeah, she bites him while they're kissing and then he kills them and then harakiri's, completing the wildly racist portrayal of that character.
Yeah. Well, it looked like she bit his tongue off. So here we go. She's dying, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, well, let's make out. Because, I only got a minute or 2 left with you.
Why not?
At some point she died and then became a zombie and then bit his tongue off.
Yeah.
Whereas, Vaquero, he's like one-eyeing it.
Yeah.
And, saying names and trying to have dialogue and stuff.
So we're back with Jack and Apocalypta. And he somehow manages to stab her with very little fanfare. And she gets eaten by zombies.
Yeah.
It's a really anticlimactic ending to her pretty good villain, honestly.
It seemed to me like they shot this in order, right? Every scene in order in the script. And they got to the end and they realized out of time. We need to make this quick. We no longer have the budget nor the time to pursue this drawn out battle.
Then a little girl zombie comes up and bites him in the calf afterwards.
Yeah, it takes a huge chunk out.
And Serene comes up and takes out the kid. And then she gives Jack a gun so he can opt out. Yeah. So we finally get the boy band song for the movie, which they all recorded specifically for this movie. I'm pretty sure Nick Carter wrote it. And it's the one I wanted, the one I watched this whole disaster for, waiting for a song. It was not worth it. Serene gives Jack a sky burial.
That was addressed earlier on.
Yeah.
Which had nothing to do with anything.
Nope, nothing to do with anything.
Nope, other than to lead us to this last bit.
Right. And I guess they won because now humans can die or something because Apocalypse is dead.
I have no idea. Apocalypse is dead, but every one of these fuckers is gone, and Serene is off to her magic yurt. And
her magic yurt. I love it.
And that's it.
So yeah, I mean, it was fun, and it was exactly what you would expect an Asylum film to be.
It was. Let's jump right into that.
Yeah.
So this is one of those flip side things. Okay. When you watch an Asylum film, you can be assured of low quality story presentation. Okay. Very B movie. Mm-hmm. Very B movie. Now, on the other side of that, when you watch Asylum, you can expect to watch, like we said before, these guys are the masters of B movie production these days.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Sharknado. Okay. Sharknado was not a passion project that was put out there with the sole intention of being a tentpole film, hitting it big,
right?
And then we're going to do sequels. All right. Sharknado was just one in the many, many, many buckets of movies that Asylum puts out.
Well, it was specifically made for Shark Week for sci-fi.
Right. Well, they've done a lot of stuff though. How many, headed sharks have we watched and stuff? So here's the thing though. Asylum figured out a long time ago, right time, right place.
Yeah.
If you keep putting shit out, eventually you'll be there at the right time in the right place for something to catch. Nothing has caught on like the Sharknado franchise.
Oh no.
Nothing. Right. And as Sharknado progressed, nothing got better.
No.
They didn't spend more money.
They didn't write better stories.
They didn't stop using stock CGI. Right. They stuck to their formula. And that's one of the things that I as a lesson I wanted to talk about in this is, there's a reason the schlock movies. So like last week's episode was Attack of the Moon Zombies. Mm-hmm. And it's a schlock throwback salute love letter kind of thing. Right. And there's a reason those things fucking work though. It's not that the American public was so stupid that they're like, they don't see this is grotesquely off balance.
Right. It's not like no one could tell that those were egg cartons on the walls.
Right. And it wasn't that anything was particularly scary or anything jumped out, mm-hmm. But it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun, and you kept watching it, and, the drive-ins, and especially, teenagers and young couples, their relationships evolved around this shit. Because this is what filled up these screens because they were so cheap to make, thus super cheap to distribute, and everybody could afford to grab some of it, mm-hmm. And that's what Asylum at some point figured out. Because we can think back to some of their first 10 films.
Yep.
Holy God.
Ooh, so bad.
It's,
I remember early Asylum films.
Yeah, I know. You can see the progression.
Mm-hmm.
They have taken money. They have increased their production capability.
Right.
Right. So I remember we were watching, I can't remember what it was, but it was like the first of the next generation, because we were watching it and I'm like, oh, they bought a new CGI pack.
Yes.
Because that's what it seemed like. They were making these old movies, or their older movies, off of stock effects that you could get with any VFX program.
Yeah.
Right. But now, like with all the sharks, the headed sharks, right?
Yeah.
That's not stock.
No, that's made in house.
At some point, they were able to. They start doing stuff in house, and their formula is awesome.
It works.
It is. It's, we don't need too much depth in the story.
No.
We don't have the money or the time to fucking flesh all this out. We need to hit the ground running. We need to put shit on screen as fast and as cheap as we can until the end credits roll.
Yep.
Right? And you're not ever going to find a 3-hour Asylum film.
Oh, thank God. No.
Yeah, right. That's what keeps them in the basket of favorites. It's like, I'm not going to worry about pissing myself halfway through this because it's like another 2.5 hours before the movie's over.
Well, I know. And as much as we make fun of Asylum, every time we see that logo pop up on a movie that we didn't know was an Asylum film from the get-go, we're like, oh, it's Asylum.
At the same time, we do. We hail it. It's Asylum. Because a lot of stuff that we find, it's not advertised. There's no way to tell. And sometimes we don't hit the trailer. We're just like, go.
Sometimes you can tell right away because they do a lot of tentpole ripoffs.
Right.
Like the Sherlock one, and they did a fake Avengers one, and they did fake everything that's been a tentpole.
Battleship, called it Warships.
Right.
So many other things.
Yeah.
Dead Seven. I mean, we know.
Well, yeah.
Right. And the thing,
they do have some original ones.
Yeah, but all of their stuff, rip off or not, is highly original in its presentation.
Yes.
Think about Sharknado. Right. This is one of the things that B movies, whether it's a multi-million-dollar production that got Facebook, like Guns Akimbo, right? Or if it's just a part and parcel of Asylum, right? So here's your bucket of money,
right?
Now find a fucking script and get it out there. You got 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
The wonderful thing about B movies, which is also independent film, more often than not, they're the story that people want to tell.
Well, yeah.
Right? So someone read the short story about Bubba Hotep. Thought, oh man, this would be awesome. Right? So they got a little bit of money and they were able to make this movie. And it got some distribution, right? Mm-hmm. But it's a B movie, clearly. There wasn't a lot of faith or any effort really behind it. But if it had gotten, say, $100 million, it would have been a very different movie.
That's true.
And no one would be talking about it today.
That's true.
Right? B movies and indie films are the ones that strike the cult followings, the fan bases, everything, and then whatever comes after that, like Star Wars was a B movie, and then boom, right? But we always go back to that origin, and that's what we pick things apart. Star Wars was the story that he wanted to tell, and then slowly it became the story that studios were expecting to be told.
Right.
Which is a huge shift. So I hat tip Asylum for this is what we're doing. And the fact that the people in charge are the people who make these decisions, this is what we're doing, makes it super easy. And you can have fun with this shit. And you get things like boy bands rocking it out on screen.
I mean, I loved this movie. It was so dumb, but I loved this movie.
I'll say this, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
Solely because you kept selling the boy band aspect. As if it were at some point going to reach me inside and warm my heart. Somehow.
I don't think that's fair. I did try to tell you it's a zombie Western and it's
but you kept selling it as boy band. And you kept throwing names at me. And I'm like, you might as well be speaking Klingon. I have no idea. But to be fair, I did add it to the watch list a year ago.
That's true.
It's been there ever since.
I always felt like you only did that to mollify me so that you could always be like, it's on the watch list. Someday we'll watch it. With the intention of someday being, you know, like when I forget about it, then you can secretly take it off the watch list.
Well, it's on the watch list. How can you forget about it? You know, because we go through that watch list a lot.
That's true.
And it's like, oh, Dead 7. Let's watch that. Like, no, maybe later. Maybe later.
I don't know.
Maybe later.
Infinitely, it's maybe later. But you did watch it with me, so I commend you for that, and I appreciate that you did.
Well, and we did it for an episode, so see?
Yeah.
It's funny, though. We did add it. I want to say, you know, this is how I rolled it, so everyone understands. I said, fine. That's it. You went through this whole thing, and I said, fine. And of course, Lily was there. She's like, oh, yeah, he's in.
Well, because she's known about this battle between us to get you to watch Dead 7 for ages.
Yes. But then when it came time, I think it was the night before, you had made a suggestion we could watch something else instead of Dead 7 for the episode. And I was very honest. I said, well, this is sort of a now or never kind of thing. If we take it off of the list for the episode, I will probably never agree to do it again. Mostly because the whole boy band thing, God, everything about boy bands just makes my sphincter pucker. It's terrible.
They're terrible.
But we did, and we had fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a fun movie.
It was.
And that's, like I said, that's my biggest thing is, Asylum has the formula. And if you're out there and you're looking about making something, we've talked about this. Don't worry about if it's ridiculous.
Well, no.
This is your chance to tell your story. If you do not have a studio representative talking to you about your film, like what you need to do and what's the schedule and stuff, then you're in the clear to do anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
Do it, because these are the purest movies. B movies and independent film are the purest movies. You got a big budget. And if you're a director who's out there right now, well, if you're out there right now, you aren't really doing fuck all because nobody's doing anything, big scale. But if you were, and you're going to go back to it, people who've been at this for a while know when they're helming their own shit, they get to tell their story. Or they get to, or they have a friend who's got a script or something. They're like, oh, fuck yeah, I want to do that. And you have complete control, As to the shit after the movie, we're going to talk about that pretty soon with someone who's in that process. Mm-hmm. The movie's been done. It's swinging at festivals. And we're going to talk about distro and sales and, all the shit that's never been talked about.
Well, that's the thing. People always think, making a movie is the hardest part. It is not the hardest part.
No.
It is, it's long hours, right?
Yep.
It's hard work,
mm-hmm.
but it's so much fun that it doesn't seem like work. It's what comes after when all of the excitement and all of the camaraderie of like being on set and making this thing together and the, that creative kind of stuff
mm-hmm.
that keeps everyone going is done because you're done with principal shooting. And then it's just a slog, man.
Well, it is. So David Keith.
Yeah.
Redwood Massacre, Annihilation, the sequel. Not coming out till October.
Right.
Right. And he's doing screenings, but he's as busy now as he was shooting the fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
He did post forever. And, I loved his little blurbs and posts and stuff and things. Like, I'm so fucking sick of this. Watching this, if I hear this,
way
this
to
track
hype your shit, man.
one more time. Well, but yeah, it's all these months. He's got to push the sales and the distribution deals, plus the fact that he's in Scotland, so he's got to deal with UK and overseas, and other countries.
Yeah,
like German. Everything. It's a huge thing.
And that's the thing. We do this because we're creatives and we love the creating part.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to that part and you're like, oh.
Well, that's why ultimately people make the jump from, doing all of this to, they do get working with the studio,
mm-hmm.
right? Because once you do it, it's like, I can guarantee you, Steven Spielberg for decades hasn't fucked with any of that.
Oh, God.
When he directed a movie and he was done and it was cut the way he wanted, he just went home and went to bed. Right? There's literally an entire building full of people doing all that other stuff.
Yes.
The distributions and getting all this shit done. And that's the benefit of big time studio,
mm-hmm.
So if you're doing a B movie and you have a studio, like Asylum is a full on studio.
Yeah.
They've got the connections. They have their distribution set up. Their shit is rock solid. You don't have to worry about it. So doing a project for one of these would be a wonderful thing.
It would.
Maybe it's not your story, right? Maybe you can bring something to it, like someone like Asylum, and say, so I got this. It's not super deep. Here's what it hits on. It's low budget and stuff, and they'll tell you to go. And then you get to do your stuff, and then you get to be like, hands off.
Right.
All right, you guys put it out there, man.
I think I would probably be okay with having the first movie that we wrote together be done in Asylum Studios.
I've thought about it because it is super cheap.
It's super cheap.
And it could survive.
Oh, for sure.
This, because the level of practical effects that they have achieved. And that's the other thing. The beginning Asylum films were basically like somebody took a ketchup packet, gave it a squirt, right? And that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. There's people who've done, with less.
Yeah. Well, it's not a highbrow movie.
Well, it's not. Oh, we'll see. Do some talking.
Ooh.
Make some calls.
Yeah.
It's what I do. And sometimes I'm actually successful at something.
I think you're pretty good at talking to people for as much as you don't enjoy talking to people. You're
well, it's
just, in a general sense, you enjoy talking to the people that you do talk to, but just as a general rule, you're not a super sociable person.
No, I hate reaching out. I do. It's just, but it's been awesome because I haven't, been told to fuck off. And we've talked to a lot of really great people.
We've lucked out a lot.
So, well, the guillotine's hanging by a thread now because I think my run's eventually going to.
Don't say that.
Well, it happens eventually. It doesn't mean it's not going to go back up, and I'll have like a lot of back and forth, and then underneath it, and eventually, there's the second one. Anyway,
so the production value on this was really good.
Yes.
The story, not great. Lots of plot holes. The acting, clearly there were about 5 people who were acting in this movie who were really serious about it, and the rest were not looking to, break into acting as a serious commercial endeavor. But it seemed like they were just doing it for their buddy. And so, it wasn't terrible. The acting, I've seen worse acting, but it wasn't phenomenal. It wasn't very emotional.
But it's on par.
Yeah.
With all of Asylum.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little bit different because, let's take Sharknado. All right. So let's take Finn. Okay. Finn I call him the Captain Kirk of the disaster movie universe.
Sure.
Because in the beginning, the first few scenes in the first Sharknado, he's just like the guy. But then as soon as shit kicked off, I'm like, that's William Shatner coming out through him, because he is throwing everything into every line.
Yes.
Like, I've got to take a piss. You know, I don't think you need to have that level of intensity, man. Just, you know, but, and so Finn comes across, and they saw it, they recognized it, and they embellished it every movie after that, every sequel.
You're my wife.
Right? And he's just this ridiculously throwing things out there, but it worked.
Yeah.
Now, aside from him, everybody else, in like all the other movies, even the Sherlock Holmes one, they're not super great performances, but two things, and we've talked about this in other movies. One, so maybe they're not great actors, right? But they're doing their thing. And if you're not a great actor, the writing can make or break you. You know, you got to be at least good enough to push past some super bad writing, but you can't be bad enough where you fuck up what could have been good.
Right.
Because people like us will be out there and be like, oh man, that could have been a kick-ass scene, but Jesus Christ.
There have been a couple movies we've talked about that could have been really good.
Right. You know, but it's like, well, if you give me a recording of Donald Duck doing sonnets from Shakespeare, hard pass. You know, it's the presentation that matters. The second thing is maybe they are really good, but you know, they don't have take after take after take.
Right.
Right. You know, it's okay. We've got 11 minutes and we need to get these 3 things done. Go, 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 go. So they give it, you know, what they got. And it's that whole feed off of who's around you, work with the material, and it depends who's directing it too. So there's a lot of things that can mix things up. So let's talk about like Attack of the Herbals.
Okay.
It's a wonderful film, fucking fantastic. Not a grand troupe.
Right.
All the way around. Right. And also not a lot of opportunity because it's a very baseline plot.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of character development. Russell, we love Russell, you know, and Steven rocked it.
Oh yeah.
And the
he did
fact
wonderfully.
And the fact that you can watch it and look at it and go, yeah, he was like, you know, fucking good. Well, the fact that he's had a career doing, you know, voiceovers and everything, it gets there, you know. Liam busts shit up every time he's on screen. You know, even if that's not his thing, it's hilarious. Well, not every time, because like, you know, the farmer wasn't really funny in Redwood Massacre.
No.
You know, and in, well, we won't give it away. Can't talk about it. Yeah.
We won't. I think that a lesson, and it's kind of a roundabout way of getting to it, but I think it's an important lesson that you can learn from movies like this one, is that, you know, obviously there were a lot of constraints that were put on, right?
Oh, yeah.
Budget-wise, time-wise, etc.
Yeah.
And creatives will tend to balk at restraints. Because we want to be like, well, don't box me in, you know, it's my vision, I think it should go this way.
Right.
But there's something about having constraints put on the work that you're doing that can make the most wonderful creative things happen, because you're forced to creatively think about how to work around them and how to work inside that box.
Yes.
And I mean, it's been the case with a lot of movies where that box that was put around them, whether it was a budget or whether it was, you know, we only have this many locations or whatever it was, right? Or we only have 3 days to film this.
Right.
Ended up creating something truly unique and truly, like, remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's not the only lesson that you can learn from this movie, but I think it's one of.
Well, I think it's a multi-pronged lesson.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that, but then let's add to it. We talk about the A movies, right? The Hollywood formula.
Mhm.
Okay, we all, it is. I'm not gonna say we all fucking hate it, but it is boring and predictable. And let's talk about things like, so we talked about the Marvel movies.
Mhm.
Okay, those are not deep stories,
No.
right? And I don't give a shit. Like, oh well, someone wrote and put into. No, they didn't. They had a fucking formula, and they followed the formula. They're not going to win anything for story, for performance. I mean, not that these people were slacking, right? But there's not a lot of demand all the way through the movie. And it's just a bunch of CGI and running around and action and shit. And in between, you'd have some like pull the heartstring dialogue to engage the audience.
I think
right?
the most demanding part of those movies is the like fitness and diet regimen that the actors have to go on.
Well, yeah, because even with all that CGI, they still have to, run their ass across the set 25 times, for the one scene. But the other thing about the formula is it comes with a super big budget.
Mm-hmm.
And they will tell someone, make this movie, and they'll give them a number, right?
Yes.
They don't give them carte blanche. But almost any movie, you can read about it and find out how that budget was set, and then it was just blown a fucking way in like the first 90 days.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, well, we've still got another 90 days of shooting and shit to do, and we're out of money. And the studio will dump into it because they're expecting this Hollywood formula to generate hundreds of millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, in this, the formula, the B-movie formula, where Asylum is, I can't say it enough, is the reigning king.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? They set the limitations. And they said, this is it. And don't knock on my door for another goddamn dollar. Right?
Right.
Because as soon as you start giving into that shit, then you start losing profitability.
Yeah.
And so they set it up. And sometimes the creativity isn't like industry changing.
No.
Right. But it does, we can see in different things where, okay, so they have set amount of money. This is the equipment they've got. But we can see someone did something in this one that was different than the other one. Right?
Yeah.
Like this was actually, other than some of the like dry performances, that's sort of what you expect, in a B movie. Especially for someone who hasn't been in the limelight for a while.
Right.
Maybe it's a little flat. But it delivers. It's the B movie formula that keeps people from trying to get like outlandishly fucking creative. Because there's some big budget movies where it's like that should never have.
Right.
That, just flat out fucking dumb. Just bad decisions, bad visions, bad execution, bad everything. But what draws these things in? Here's the thing. People go out and see these big movies, right? Opening night, A movie, everyone's like, holy shit. What a turd. And then it dies on the vine. You have an $80 million movie that grossed $150,000. Right? Dead.
Yeah.
So now you got these B movies. I don't know what the number is. 2 million? 1 million? $500,000? Okay.
I would say maybe $1 million.
But
maybe.
But what happens with us? How did we get into all this B movie bullshit, right? How did we decide to do a podcast on this? Because we watch B movies.
Like all the time.
All the time. And we share them with people like, you got to watch this. You've got to watch this. It's so bad.
For every one that we do an episode on, we watch 3 more.
Oh, easily. Shit. Easily. Yeah. But here's the thing. We're not the only ones.
No, we're not.
Okay. Asylum would not be here today. And folks, if you don't know, Asylum has been around for a very long time.
Yes.
With this formula.
I remember at least 3 logo changes.
Right?
Like,
well, yeah, I think the first one was just a typeface, wasn't it? They just had regular standard. Then it was all of a sudden like, oh, they got an art department.
A new font.
But they know what they're doing because they create these. When you create a low budget film, regardless of its quality, right? And it's at such a thing where you can put it on things like sci-fi, and then now we have video on demand and streamers. People will watch that because if it's on sci-fi, Sharknado was free.
Yeah.
Right. If sci-fi is not in your cable bundle, I mean, you're already paying for shit, all these channels.
Right.
So, nowadays it's changing dramatically, but back in the old days, if you, $50 a month for cable, you got your 135 stations, good to go. Sci-fi is one of them, even better. Doesn't cost you a fucking thing to watch whatever they put out. And that's what people do. We're laying at home, we're watching because we don't want to go out to the movies. We're not paying for HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, all that. We're not doing pay-per-views, and we didn't feel like going out and renting anything.
Right.
And Asylum was around long before we had all the Prime, Hulu, Netflix options.
Oh, yes.
For video on demand.
Yeah.
Right.
But they were one of the first in the game for streaming services because they immediately saw, well,
yeah. Well, because they would put stuff straight to DVD, direct to DVD. If it wasn't network, they would do direct to DVD, and you could rent this shit from Netflix and a lot of stores when they were around. But then, yeah, when video on demand came out, Asylum had this vault.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Of finished products, right? And I can only imagine the deals they were able to strike.
Mm-hmm.
And Amazon's like, man, we would sure like to show some videos.
Boom. Here's a shitload of content for you.
I've got 207 fucking movies for you today. They're all digitized, ready to go.
Yep.
Talk to me, And whatever they're doing makes them money because they're still hitting it hard, right? Their formula works.
Yeah.
And so again, if you're thinking of doing this stuff, do your thing. Jump on a project with somebody who can help you distribute, or has like, hey, I've got $25,000 I got off of Kickstarter or Indiegogo or something, and I need a director for this. You'd almost be an idiot to turn it down.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's going to challenge you to work within those constraints. It's going to challenge you to do the best that you can. And like we said, never walk into anything like, oh, this is just a giant turd, so I'm just going to get through it. Don't do that.
Mm-mm.
Don't do that. Put yourself into it. And if nothing else, right? Shift it so it's fun. Yeah. I know it's, direct. It's nothing but fucking headaches and pressure and all that stuff. But encourage it to be a fun thing rather than just a low budget thing. Because that's where Asylum, a lot of these things.
That's why they succeed, is because they're fun.
And you can see a lot of the actors have fun. This is funny, right? So Carl Weathers has been in several because he wasn't out there. He wasn't on an A list or a B list or a C list. He was done.
I know.
And in the acting
Carl
world,
Weathers.
I know. But where is he now? He's on the fucking Mandalorian.
I know.
Right? He is like well, in the top 3, right? We got Mando, we got Cara and Carl. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we'll ever get to see the second season. And the thing is he's a wonderful actor.
Oh,
I mean, and he has stuck when he did the Asylum stuff. He stuck with what they gave him. I mean, that's the thing is a lot of people write these scripts with certain actors in mind. Like, I was thinking like, Carl Weathers from like Predator, just a real quick, go out there and go get him, military type kind of thing. So that's what they hire him for. And they're like, so we want you to do this. Right. It's the formula. But they've had a lot of actors who have delivered these lines, and you can see they're just having fun with them, especially the campy shit, like the bad jokes.
Yeah.
It works. It works. And I think it's a good opportunity for people to jump into projects and stuff, looking at this model and just keeping that in mind, So whoever you're working for might not be Asylum.
Right.
Right. Like that. It's just some guy who's, I really want to do this. Right. And well, you really want to direct.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are you waiting for? He's offering you a paycheck. Might not be huge. But none of these people, they're all getting rates.
Oh,
it's flat rate. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one was a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it was boy bands.
It was super fun, though. It was so fun. Even,
it was.
I mean, I honestly think that this movie could have done really well if they had retooled a couple of things about it. Like, I think it could have been a genuine, sort of serious. I don't know. Maybe not. It was just super fun the way it was, though. Like, there's nothing wrong with it right now, except for all the plot holes.
Well, yeah, and that just comes with the rewriting.
Right.
We see things that we would have written a different story. But on the same note, the script we were just talking about a little bit ago, Jesus Christ, we have rewritten that thing
so many times.
So many different times. Because we've had different takes on it.
Yeah.
Because it's been sitting around. We're like, oh, you know what?
Every now and then, one of us is like, hey.
Well, what if we took it this way? What if we went more towards gore? What if we went more towards creepy?
Mm-hmm.
What if we went more towards camp? And then what if we went more towards, humor, not just incidental, accidental camp.
Right.
Right. And we've gotten, all those rewrites and those ideas. The last read that we had on it was, we didn't think we were comedians, but we were told it's quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it too. I don't, think of us as, comedians or humorists per se. Occasionally, I mean, I think my sense of humor is pretty dry, and yours is pretty dry as well.
Overall, but I think that's coming out because things that are thrown at us. That's one of the things in this. There was a few, as with all of these films, a few lines that were supposed to be funny. They just kind of fell flat.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, we laugh at a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Our own humor, like you said, coming out is probably a little more dry and everything. And things between us, you can't even categorize that because it's all inside joke shit, and we know.
Yeah, we've got 8 years of.
Well, yeah, and the 1,000 things that influenced it that make it funny.
Yeah.
Right. That it's referencing. But we laugh at a lot of stuff. Layered humor, mm-hmm. Sophisticated humor. Really brainy.
Slapstick.
Yep. And then slapstick, the good old punch in the head. Dropping stuff. All aspects of it. So when something falls flat, I think we're justified in our righteous indignation.
That's fair.
At it. So we have learn from Asylum, watch Asylum Films, and see what they do and understand how to create a brand, especially if you're a short filmmaker.
Yes.
Right? If you're doing short films and you want to theme it and you're looking for some sort of flavor to put all your stuff together, this is a perfect example. They're features, but
yeah,
find a formula and stick with it and push with it. If you're looking to be successful, what does that mean? I suppose for most, it's, I'd like to pay my rent and my groceries with what I'm doing.
I'd like to, yeah.
Instead of a day job, right?
Right.
These are the things you want to do because you can always go past that.
Sure.
Right. You work to do something else. And, I don't know, I guess more importantly, have fun.
And that's the lesson, don't balk at constraints.
No.
I know it's my first instinct whenever someone's like, I need you to operate inside these brackets.
Yep.
I'm like, I don't know.
Stay silent.
But try to fight that and realize that they can be your friend.
Well, yeah, they can force you to be creative in a not out of control way.
Yeah.
Right. That's the simple end of beginning and end of it. So overall, not the worst movie I've ever seen.
I love that you liked it.
And things like this, there are, oh my God. There are always things that we're going to pick on in things like gaping plot holes and stuff. But you also have to remember in this particular formula, nobody gives a shit because enough people continue to keep watching this stuff to keep that company in business. And most of you listening,
we're the people that keep watching this stuff to keep that company in business.
And listeners, you've been watching them. And I know you've watched some of them more than once.
Oh, yeah.
So have fun with it and just roll it out. And when you're done rolling it out,
go visit our website at www.lordsofmisrollproductions.com.
Bam! Everything's on there. Links to everything, social media, Patreon, subscriptions, all that stuff. Our blog is on there. Little bits of info. Things as they happen will show up there.
Yeah. And if you like the show, please rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, whatever it is that you are listening to us on.
Whatever your platform.
Yeah.
Leave a star or 2 or 3, preferably 5.
Yeah, 5 would be nice. Come follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, whichever one is your, chosen, or all of them. That'd be cool too.
Yeah, we're all over out there.
If you have something you want us to take a look at, send us an email. Our emails are on our website.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we love screeners.
Yeah.
And if we can do something on them, even better. Mm-hmm. We'd be happy to, do it and pull up a chat.
For sure.
If you are, because we just got an invite yesterday, but I just saw it in the feed. Got an invite to speak on somebody's podcast. It's actually somebody I plugged.
Oh, we did?
Earlier. Yeah, they just want to talk B-movies with us.
Oh, I love it.
I said, well, let's set it up. We'd be happy to pop on your show and talk. If you want to talk about B-movies, we'll throw in our 2 cents worth.
Sure.
If you have something going, right, or you want to talk to us about some, not just B-movies, but, more of the creation side of it as well. Even if you haven't done anything, if you're a host on another podcast that talks about this stuff and you want to chat with us, we'd be happy to have you on.
Yeah.
And vice versa, so, yeah.
Well, that's cool. I did not know that. Cool of you to tell me while we're recording.
It's the disc dump.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're new. Mm-hmm. And, so he's been digging it. And I'm like, yeah, well, I wish I could say when, because by the time people hear this, we'll probably have already been on his show.
Potentially.
So, folks, look it up.
Sure.
Look up his feed. We'll throw stuff out there on social media and sites and stuff when it comes out, because we have our 2-week difference and not everybody is on that same schedule. But
right.
With that,
well,
I
think that's good.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening. We will catch you next week. Until then, I'm Danny.
I'm Jim.
And good night.
Bye.